Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Sty Times. Hey, hey. Yep. I'm glad you took the chance and you came on over to watch the show this evening. Hey, we've got a few great folks over there in the chat already chatting away. Uh, we got Dean, the dancing machine, is over there. Um, he just got done watching a guy cook a steak in a glass jar. Crazy, he says. That sounds interesting, huh? Yeah, that's got me curious. Hey, and there's Justin Anderson. Great to see you, Justin. And Ben Kroll. Awesome. Hi, Ben. And there's me, Dibble. Is that Sty Dude? It is. It's Sty Dude. Yeah, yeah. And there's Nemi Pun. Awesome to see you, Nemi. Oh, yeah. Third video in a row. I came. I'm getting better. Nemi, you are. Poor Nemi. He tries. He wants to catch, especially the lives. He wants to catch parts of them, and a lot of times he goes, "Oops, I missed. I missed." Well, it happens. It happens. And if you catch me by chance, that's cool too. That's cool too. Take the chance, right? Take the chance. I might be going live. Okay. Okay. So um, there's Kimberly Ferris. Great to see you, Kimberly. Oh, gosh. I've got, so if I don't see Kimberly pop in, I feel kind of sad. But I'll take that chance that she'll show up. the Me Devil said that they've seen someone cook a steak in a dishwasher. Oh my gosh. Hey, David Jones, hello. Hope you're well because you're looking it, sir. Well, thank you. Thank you. I feel well. I feel well right now. It's another good day. Another good day. Yeah. Yeah, there's always that day that I might get up in the morning and not feel so well. Well, I'll take that chance. But in the meantime, I feel pretty good. Um, yeah, Nemi. The 5 o'clock ones work out for Nemi because of the time difference between him and me. So it's it's midnight for him. Yeah, it's midnight, and he says perfect just before I go to bed. That's right. That's right. The And that's it, is because of the time zone difference, and I got so many awesome followers around the world. So many of them can't watch except after the fact, and but I have to take that chance. I look at my YouTube analytics as to when is the best time. When do I have the most viewers actually online? And that's when I'll run my streams. So that's really the basis of it. Uh, so, hey, folks, don't forget to share it out. Share it out and let all your friends know that we're over here at Sty Times and we're covering another topic. Taking chances, man. Take chances. Take chances. We all got to take chances. In fact, a lot of people don't realize they're taking chances every waking moment of the day. We, Ben Kroll likes the 7 o'clock lives. Yeah. Yeah, that's a peak. That's a peak for my channel for viewers to be online. So that's why I have 7 o'clocks on Thursdays and Sundays. Um, because I take the chance that if they're online, I can get some of them come hang out, right? Um, Nemi Button says taking chances sounds interesting. Well, like I said, yeah, just waking up and going through the day. You're taking chances every minute of the day. We might have all the plans in the world and our days don't change much. Maybe, just for an example, a person gets up every morning, they shower, shave, and have their coffee and head off to work. Work day, they got a job that just never changes. Yeah, it's, it's the same all the time. They get done with work, they head home, same ride home every day. They get home, they do a few little chores, have their dinner, kick back for a while, call it a night, and do it all again the next day. And they don't change their routines at all. So they're not taking any chances, right? Well, yeah, they are. They're going to bed at night, taking the chance that nothing will change overnight, right? That they're unaware of. They get up in the morning, start taking, they go to take their shower. Well, they're taking a chance. They're in the shower, it's a nice warm shower, and they're just like, oh, this is great, I'm waking up. All of a sudden, it's bitter cold, and it's like, oh my God, fly out of that shower, dry off, and you go check, your hot water heater broke down. Well, the thing is people say, well, you weren't taking any chance. Yes, you are. Anytime you depend on something to just go as it's supposed to, you're taking the chance that it might go wrong. Something might goof that up. So we take chances every minute of the day. And they're reasonable chances. The reasonable chances we just don't notice because the odds are in our favor that everything will go fine. So we don't feel that we're at risk or taking chances, right? But we are. But the chances that I'm talking about taking are chances that really, really make a difference. Really, your decision to take a chance could change things, right? A lot of us get put in positions where we got to do that. I got to take a chance. I'm going to take a chance at it. I've got a few examples that I'm going to talk about this evening to kind of pound home how taking chances can actually be a true benefit. Where if you're taking unreasonable chances, they can turn out to be pretty devastating. So take chances? Yes, we should take chances. All chances? No, we should not take every chance that is possibly there. Some chances can come around, bite you. They'll get you. I'd rather have take a chance that isn't going to come back and bite me really bad, Me Devil says 99% it's going to be all good, but there's always that 1%. We're taking the chance that 1% is going to rear its ugly head and mess things up. You're absolutely right, Me Devil. Hey, Ingalls family's in the house. It's great to see you out there. Missouri travelers, it is awesome to see you out there in the chat, and we need common sense. Yeah, and that's when we take chances. That's when you really need an extra dose of common sense so that as you take that chance, you can read what's happening and occurring and use some common sense to say, whoa, I shouldn't have taken that chance. I'm going to back out of it. And without any common sense, you take these blind chances and you run right into it and you go, oh my gosh, did that hurt? Hey, hunting and stuff with J&J is also out in the chat. It is so good to see you out there, my buddy. But I'll tell you what. Taking chances, like I had said earlier, can be very rewarding. Very rewarding. I'm going to, before our halftime break, I'm going to give you this example. I had a buddy, and him and I kind of met up in our late teens. We were teenagers at the time, about 16, 17 years old. And I'll tell you a little bit about him. He ended up enlisting. He ended up going over to Vietnam. He ended up wounded, disabled, not 100% disabled, a limited disability. They shipped him home. After he recovered, he was doing pretty good. He had a good mind to him, and he's a hard worker. I can't remember what he was doing at the time, but he was making good money. Well, he bought himself this beautiful Super Bee. It was a Super Bee that, it's basically a Charger. Beautiful car. Man, that thing was sharp. Everybody in town was jealous, man. What the heck is he doing with a car like that? Look at that guy. That is the sweetest car in the world. But here's the problem. That poor fella was born ugly. I mean, he ugly. I mean, when a guy looks at another guy and goes, that guy is ugly, just think what the women see, And this poor boy was ugly. He was born at the top of the ugly tree, fell out of it, hit every single branch in it. His mama drug him to the top and dropped him a second time. This boy was so ugly. And the girls, all the gals at the time, you'd hear him giggling and stuff, and you'd hear comments about, God, he's so ugly. I hate kind of being around him because he's so dang ugly. He's just terrible. Look at him. Man, he's nasty looking. I'm not going to go into details why he looked so ugly, but it wasn't from his incident in Vietnam. He was born ugly. I mean, all the way through school, he was an ugly kid. He was one grade ahead of me. And I can remember seeing him in the hallways, going to school, through school, grade school, junior high, high school, and going, whoa, that's one ugly kid. And he's always been ugly, terribly ugly. And he didn't have friends. And he didn't have friends because he was afraid to take the chances of having friends that weren't loyal, that were just faking it, I'll pretend I'm his friend, but he's so damn ugly. Well, him and we just happened to friend each other. I was willing to be friends with just about anybody. And we became friends, and I got to know him personally. The man had the best personality you ever seen. I tell you what, talk about a big-hearted, very stable, wonderful person. The guy was, he was an awesome friend. But he was ugly. And it was kind of hard for me sometimes because I was out chasing girls at the time. And he'd come along. He wanted to go out, hang out on Friday and Saturday nights. We'd go out in his fancy car. Only problem was I got Mr. Ugly driving the car around, and I'm trying to pick up girls. it ain't working so good because he's so damn ugly. Well, he told me one day, he confided, he says, "You know so and so, don't you?" And I go, "Oh yeah, isn't she? She's pretty. Boy, she's pretty." And she was a dish. Boy, she was a dish. And I go, "What about her?" And he goes, "I really wish she would go out with me." And I go, "Really?" And he goes, "Yeah." But she goes out with the quarterback and the wrestling champ. She goes out with all the jocks. And there's no way. Um, and I told him, I said, "Have you asked her?" He goes, "Oh, no, 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 no. I wouldn't ask her. I'm not going to take that chance." He says, "Never asking her is, it hurts less than asking her and being turned down." I said, "You need to ask her." And he goes, "Look at me. There's no way she's going to be seen out in the public with me." Um, and I told him, I said, "I couldn't live with myself without knowing if I were you. I'd ask her. Ask her out. Ask her out to dinner." And he goes, "She's not going to agree to." I said, "But you don't know that, and you never will unless you ask. Take the chance, buddy." Well, guess what? Let's see. It's 2022. Oh, wow. They've been married for 36 years. This is absolutely, I'm not kidding. He ended up getting a speeding ticket because he was zipping all through town trying to find me because he knew I was out cruising in my car, and he's speeding through town trying to find me. And he finally found me. All of a sudden, he comes flying up behind me, flashing his lights and honking his horn. And I zipped over, and he pulled over with his car. He told me, he says, "Shit, I just got done, and the cops just wrote me a ticket for speeding through town. But I'm so glad I found you." I said, "What's up?" Because the way he was acting was like, it's shocked me. He says, "I did exactly what you said. I took a chance, and guess what? I asked her out." I go, "You did? Well, good for you. I'm glad you tried at least." And he goes, "Oh, no, I didn't try. I succeeded. We're going out for dinner tomorrow night." I go, "You have got to be kidding me." I'm telling you, this girl was a real dish, real dish. Um, yeah, yeah. I mean, that's like taking a beautiful, awesome slice of strawberry cheesecake smothered in strawberries with whipped cream on top and setting it next to a pile of dog poop. That's what that couple together would look like, right? What are the chances? He took the chance, and they've been married for over 35 years. And she adores him. She would do anything in the world for him as he would for her. Stop and think about it for a moment. If that guy would not have taken that one chance in a million, actually as ugly as he was in 10 million, if he had not taken that one chance, those two would have never hitched up. They wouldn't have gone out for dinner. They wouldn't have dated. They wouldn't have became engaged. They would have never become married. Oh, and they have 3 wonderful children. They all took after mama. Thank goodness. Yeah. They're tall like he is, but they're not. They look like mama. Yeah. And he definitely sealed for me that, just take the chance, especially chances where the response isn't going to change anything. It'll change the future maybe, but it's not going to change the way things are today. Him asking her, if she would have said no, well, the following night he would have been out there cruising the streets with me again, just hanging out like he usually did. Life wouldn't have changed for him. So he took a chance that would change his life or not change it at all. It wouldn't have made it negative unless he allowed it to. So take chances, but don't be insulted if the chance doesn't work out to your favor. Yeah, I was very proud of that fellow. Very proud of him. Yeah, Metal Music Maniac, that's right. You look, you see a big puddle of water, and you don't realize that it's a pothole that's a foot deep. Heck, it could be 10 feet deep. But everywhere you're walking, it's only a little bit of water. And you figure, it's probably only about an inch deep. And you step in it, and all of a sudden you're up to your ears in muddy water. You took that chance, didn't you? Didn't you? Taking chances is going ahead, moving ahead into something that's unknown. You really don't know what'll happen when I take that chance. But you do know that it could work out. It could actually work out. So you weigh the risk level and you say, I'll take that chance. You take that chance and, it was only an inch deep. Or you took that chance and you go, thank God I know how to swim. Don't let it destroy your life. Just tell yourself, next time, I think I'll dip my toe in first instead of taking that chance. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. But I think taking chances is very important in a person's life. Very important. Many times, I was married for 38 years. Many times throughout my marriage, I'd make a decision or I'd do something and I'd say, well, if I make this decision, I'm taking the chance that my wife is going to be upset. But actually, I don't think she will be, so I'll go ahead and do this and see what I'm willing to take that risk. If she's not happy with it, I guess I'll have to live with it. So I'd take the chance and do what I wanted to do. Sometimes it worked out just great. And she'd go, well, that's interesting that you did that. That's cool. I'm good with that. Other times she'd say, you're in trouble, mister. Oh, I shouldn't have taken that chance. Yeah. I didn't really know whether she'd get upset if I went and bought that new hunting rifle or not. Yeah. Oops, I was wrong. The Nemi pun, I love it. I love that comment, man. I think the same way. I'd rather know 100% than wonder what would happen if I did it. And see, I'm that way, and that's the way I lived my whole life. And I explained it before. I lived an open door lifestyle. I open that door and leave it open. I watch for opportunities to go by, and I'll grab one. I'll grab an opportunity that I see going by. Sometimes those opportunities provide me with less resources than I already have, but I want that experience because I'm so curious of that opportunity. And if I don't take it, I'll never know. I'll never know what it's like to do that job or to be that kind of person or that. Well, in order to live that way, I had to take chances, a lot of chances. And after the halfway point, I will be giving an example of taking a chance that was life changing, a very big chance I took. And it changed my life, along with 5 other people, dramatically. And it was a huge chance we took. Hey, David Jones. David Jones is out in the chat. It's good to see you. Good to see you. But before I get into that scenario, I want to tell you about people can take, taking calculated risks or calculated chances is one thing, because you're pre-thinking it, right? Before you do it. A real chance is when something arises, an idea, a thought, something external, and it's spur of the moment. And I haven't got time to think it through. Do I take the chance and act on that? Ooh, those are the times when you're taking chances. Could be risky. So go into it knowing it could. I might have just increased my risk level by taking that chance. I've had people say, I never take chances. I leave nothing to chance. I don't take risks. No chance. Well, I have a friend. Well, he's a past friend. But, hey, Kathy Gahan, it's out in the chat. Good to see you, sweetie. But this fella, he's one of those. He insists he never takes risks. He takes no chances whatsoever. I don't want anything messing up my day, period. Not even a minute of my day. So I pre-plan everything and I eliminate all of the chances. So there's no chance. I'm not taking any chances. And I heard that from him for years. And I always thought, yeah, he's so anal about it. Well, him and his wife decided they're going to go to Hawaii for vacation. And they could afford it. I mean, he's got a pretty good ching, he's got a pocket full. Just a couple days before their Hawaii trip, I stopped over to visit with him. And I said, so you're off to Hawaii? And he says, yep. Finally, all these years, we're going to take a trip to Hawaii. I said, now this wasn't long after 9/11 happened. I said, I'm surprised you're taking the chance of traveling with things going on in the world the way they are. You get over there, there's another incident or something, you're stuck there and whatever. He goes, no, I'm not worried about it. I go, well, there is that, it's a very small chance, but there's a chance that things could happen. And he goes, no, got it covered. I said, tell me how you got it covered. He says, well, first of all, he said, now this is 2 days before they're leaving. At the front door, there's their luggage. He says, we're already pre-packed. Everything that's going with us on the trip are in those suitcases right there. He says, they're ready to go out the door. And we double checked them. He says, mine, probably 3-4 times I checked that bag. He said the car, the first car, because they own multiple vehicles. He says the first car in the driveway closest to the door is the car we're taking to the airport. I said, yeah. And he goes, so when we go to leave, I take the bags out to the car. He said, if the car's locked and I can't find my keys, I'm not even worrying about it, because I'll have the keys for the car next to it. I'll open that, put the bags in there, and get in that car, and we'll go. Both of them have full tanks of gas, and they're ready to go. But if I get in the first car, everything's ready, good, and I go to start it, it don't start. No problem. Jump out, throw the bags in the other car, we'll take that car. I said, oh, not taking any chances, right? He says, you betcha. I didn't understand that because he drives nothing but new vehicles. He says, then when we get to the airport, we check in our bags. He said, all of a sudden our flight comes up as canceled. It's no big deal. We go check our bags in with this other airline, and we'll take that flight. I said, if they've got a flight. He goes, no, I've got tickets on that other airline. He said, I purchased tickets for 2 flights for each of us. So if one gets canceled, we got the second one to lean on. I said, are you crazy? And he says, no, I can't remember how much it was. But he said, I can cancel right up to departure on either one of those flights, and it only costs me XYZ to cancel it. I get almost all of my money back for that flight. But I have 2 flights in case one of them is canceled. I said, you're nuts. He goes, and better yet, we get to Hawaii, we get to our hotel, and the hotel says, hey, sorry, man, we just had a major power outage, and we're shut down. We don't have room for you. He said, not a big deal. We just walk out the door, catch a cab, go to this different hotel that's across the island, and we go and stay in that room. Same deal. I can cancel right up to check-in, and I only pay this small fee. I said, you are absolutely crazy. He said, no. He says, also, I've got to have a car while I'm in Hawaii, so I've got 2 cars rented under the same type of arrangement where I can cancel one. And I pay a small little penalty, that's all. The guy's crazy. He won't take any chances at all. He absolutely refuses to take the simplest chance. And so it can get terribly extreme. It can. I mean, that's, to me, that is just, you're not living if you're spending your whole day living on what if. So, hey, guys, you need to hang tight. I have to show off my channel members. This only takes 50 seconds. This little clip is 50 seconds long. Don't go anywhere. Take the chance to hang out long enough to hear about my big chance I took years ago. So I'll see you in just a moment. Yeah, me Dibbles asked out there in the chat about my friend that him and his wife went to Hawaii and made all of those plans so they didn't take any chances. Says, what did he plan in case the volcano went pop? You know, I never asked him, but something tells me he had some kind of plan. I'm sure he did. He was just that kind of guy. He would have thought out every possibility. The one thing I did find out when they came home, I stopped in. Actually, they got home early in the morning, and I stopped in that afternoon, and they had their luggage open in the living room, and they were taking things out of their bags and stuff. And I saw his suitcase there. I looked and I go, "Oh my gosh, man! Oh my gosh!" I said, "You got rolls of toilet paper in there?" And he goes, "Yeah." I said, "You steal that from the hotel?" He says, "No, I brought that from home here." I said, "Why?" And he says, "Well, I wasn't going to take any chances. I didn't know what quality toilet paper they're going to have there. I wanted to make sure I had some good stuff." That's how bad he was. He brought his own toilet paper too, just in case they didn't have any or it wasn't the right kind. I don't know. Guy's a goofball. Guy's a goofball. He's kind of guy. He's got prescription glasses, right? I asked him one day, "How many pairs of glasses do you own?" And he says, "I don't even know," because he's got an extra pair in every vehicle. They got 5 vehicles. He's got an extra pair in each vehicle. In his house, he has an extra pair of prescription glasses in every single room, including both bathrooms. They're all the same prescription. Now, their house is a 5-bedroom home, 3 baths. They got a laundry room. They got their basement with a rec room and a big utility room. Every one of those rooms has an extra pair of glasses. Out in his garage, he's got an extra pair of glasses. I know he's got 15, 20 pairs of prescription glasses everywhere. Because he said, "I'm not going to take the chance that something happens to the ones I'm wearing. I got a pair right there." I own 3 pairs. One's an old prescription, 2 are a new prescription. I'm good. I actually feel really good. The hey Gemma, it's good to see you, girl. Good to see you. Not feeling too good today. I hope you start feeling better, girl. The Nemi Bun says, "I think that's more OCD or some kind of obsession with perfection." The but I felt that way too. But he flat out explained, because he's not somebody that goes and double checks anything. His luggage he did. But otherwise, he's not one of those people where he goes, "Oh, did I lock the front door?" and go and double check it or check it 3 times. No, if he locks it, he locked it. So he's not obsessive that way. And it's pretty, yeah, it's just that he comes right out and explains it that way, that I won't take risks or chances at all. And he's not very obsessive, because like cleaning the house and stuff, his wife cleans his house like any other house. I mean, their house is no cleaner than my house. He's not a germaphobe or anything like that. And yeah, it's odd. He's an odd character. But let's get back into taking chances. I'm going to give you some good examples here of just stepping up, taking a chance. Now, I took a big chance that led into a lot of chances. Boom, 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 boom. One chance led to another. And these chances, I was very afraid that they were going to really go bad on me. A lifetime friend of mine, him and his family, and when I say family, extended family, not just him and his wife and his 3 kids, but his 2 brother-in-laws and a sister-in-law, all decided to go together, get a piece of property in northwestern Montana, and move to northwestern Montana. Well, that was a bummer. That was a bummer. Like I said, him and I were lifelong friends. And he said, well, sure gonna miss you, man. He says, I should talk to the rest of the family because our plans really are down your alley. They had bought all of this logging equipment and they had bought a sawmill, but none of them knew anything about logging or sawmilling or anything. And right at that time, I had a tree service. I did tree removals, and we had a little portable sawmill. So that's old hat to me. Plus, I run heavy equipment. He said, I think they'd love it if you moved out there with us. Maybe they'll make you a partner. Let me talk to them. I didn't ask my wife. I just told him, go for it. I figured I can convince my wife because my buddy's wife was my wife's best friend. So him and I are best friends. Our spouses are best friends. This could work out. So I told him, go ahead and approach him. He called me up and said, they said, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's bring Sty on board, get him involved, and let's get everything arranged. So then I broke it to the wife. And she goes, oh my God, the chances were taken. I said, oh, wait till you hear the whole story. We had to sell literally 80% of our worldly belongings, sold everything, whittled it down to hardly anything. Invested money in a van, a conversion van, and a camper to pull behind it. Now we're moving on to 80 acres that doesn't have electricity. It doesn't have any buildings on it at all. It's just a barren, well, it wasn't barren, it's fully wooded except for a little 10-acre meadow. And we're all going to move out there and we're going to get in that meadow, circle the wagons. We're going to live in campers while we build houses. Okay. Oh, I have to yell, hello, Mystic Money. It's great to see you out there, girl. Yes. So that was a big chance. And we're giving everything up to head out to Montana. My wife, my 4 children, all those other families. There were a total of 5 families together that we started a partnership. And we did just that. Loaded everything up, moved out there like a big caravan, set up this huge camp. And the ex-wife and I decided this just isn't for us. It was too kind of communal, what they wanted to do. And my ex-wife and I were more independent, and the communal kind of atmosphere just wasn't working for us. So we opted to sell our interests out to them and move out of there. Well, once we did that, it's like, okay, we moved there without work. None of us had work because living was going to be our work. We're going to log part of that property and a couple of other timber stands. We were getting leases to go log. We're going to mill all the lumber, build all the houses. So we were going to be working 10, 12-hour days every day of the week except for Sunday. just to get by and live. We did have a grub stake, enough money to provide food for everybody. We could all eat just fine. But we're going to have to work our tails off because we have to get established. So then from that point on, are we going to run a small lumber mill business, or what are we going to do that generates an ongoing income? We took that chance. Well, we were out of that picture now. So now I'm unemployed. We rented a nice little house out in the middle of the sticks. And found out in a hurry, work is so hard to find out there. And you can't eat the scenery. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful, but you can't take a bite out of it. I was able to hunt and fish, and that's really what we lived on for almost a year, wild game, to the point my kids didn't even know what the taste of beef was anymore, or pork, because all we ate were deer, elk, and bear. That's all that there was. And fish. But fish are fish, but anyway, I heard that this large corporation was in the area drilling test holes looking for precious metals, and they needed a water truck driver for about a month, and then that person would then step up into driller position. And I kind of mentioned to a few folks and to my buddy, I think I'll put in for that job. I'm going to take the chance and put in for that job. Even he said, you ain't got a chance in hell. You ain't getting that job. That's a specialized field. You've never drilled before? I said, well, I've drilled water wells. I helped do that a couple of times. I know a little bit about it. I said, but I'm a heavy equipment operator, and a big drill rig, that's a piece of heavy equipment, ain't it? He said, there's no chance. Well, so did everybody else. Everybody in the community is saying, we heard Sty's going to try to put in for that position. He'll never get it. There is no chance. Well, I took the chance, and I approached them, and I approached their drill rig supervisor for the region. They got a hold of me, and they said, guess what? You start Monday. Yes, I took the chance, and I got that job. Well, you couldn't beat that job. In 1984, I was making huge money. $24 an hour, and Gary guaranteed 52 hours a week. We worked 4 days on, 4 days off kind of deal. And you work 12 hours a day, basically. But, so I landed this sweet job, took that chance. Well, the job played out. They got done drilling all the test holes in our region there. And I drilled on several rigs. Well, and it created a lot of Sty stories, by the way. Well, then they said, we're done in the region. So you're going to have to we're going to move you out of the region. And I said, oh boy, that means I'll probably end up having to move my family. And they said, well, it would probably be best for you. And I said, where are you going to move me to? And they said, well, Wallace, Idaho. Well, that's over the mountain range from me. I got to drive about 2.5 hours just to get there, 2.5, 3 hours from where I live. So I can't commute back and forth to work every day. There's no way I'm going to be on the road 5 hours a day and work 12 to 14 hours. Yeah, it's just not going to work. And I said, well, I'll give it a try and decide about moving my family. Well, I only worked 2 4-day shifts. And I said, ain't for me. Not happening. They put me underground in a silver mine in Wallace, Idaho. You go a mile under the surface of the earth, and you're in this stinking mining drift with a big diesel drill, and you're drilling 1,500 feet into that mountain looking for precious metal. It is so hot and humid. It is so humid. It averaged 98% humidity. And it was like it was raining inside that mine shaft constantly because the humidity was so high. Everything's soaking wet. You're soaking wet. Everything's soaking. The humidity was so high and hot. It was hot. It was between 90 and 110 in the mine shaft all the time. Spend 12 hours in that. It's just a bitch. And it's dark and it's claustrophobic and it's an active mine and you're hearing blasting at different levels, ground shaking. It wasn't for me. I said, I'm out of here. Done. So now I'm out of work. Well, then I took the risk of moving my family to Montana. Then I took the risk on the job. They worked out, got me into the beautiful Montana country, got me this awesome job. And now I got to start over again. And I'm trying to think, well, now what do I do? What do I do? I got to make plans. And then a thought came to me, and I thought, let's take the chance. So I approached the wife and said, let's move the family up in the backcountry for 1 full year. We're going off grid for a year. She goes, oh my gosh, Sty, that's a huge, huge risk. Do we dare take the chance? She said, we're risking everything. She says, for crying out loud, we could freeze to death. We could starve to death. We could get eaten by a grizzly bear. She says, Sty, you just take too many chances. I said, no, I think we should take this chance. And I worked out and I contacted a company that owned 80 acres way up in the backcountry in the Cabinet Mountains, totally off grid. And they gave me that 80 acres for a year to use. There was nobody nearest home to us. The nearest people was 6.5 miles straight down the mountain. It wasn't an easy 6.5 miles. Hey, I see Native Kutsas out there. Great to see you, girl. Mr. Fulton, hello. It's National Chocolate Covered Nuts Day today. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to wear my chocolate. This old boy's kind of nuts. But anyway, so we did. We worked it all out. I packed up my family, moved into the backcountry. We took the chance. We had a lot of things. We took a lot of chances by making that one chance decision. One of those chances, I almost lost my oldest son, running water. He became critically ill up on the mountain in the middle of the winter. We managed to get him off the mountain into a hospital, and they said we were literally just minutes away from him expiring and dying. So we took the chance and we got him out of there. And to get him out, there was chances that had to be taken. I had worked down in town all that day, hiked up that mountain. Almost a total 9-mile hike up, so 18 miles in the whole day. Plus I worked 6-8 hours that day. I got home, found out he was ill. and critically ill. And I said, we got to get him off the mountain, but I can't do it. I can't do it. There's no way I'm hiking 30 miles in a day. And it was deep snow all the way up. So I geared up the ex-wife. My ex-wife had never, in those kind of conditions, hiked 6.5 to 9 miles because it was about 2.5 miles into town. And hi, Matt J. Great. Nice to see you stopping in over there in the chat. So I geared her all up and we sent her off the mountain. And it took a few hours, but then a rescue crew came back up and we got running water off the mountain. But we took that chance, and it was a big chance. I told her how much of a chance we were taking. There was a chance that I would have lost my son and my wife at the time. If she expired on that trail off of that mountain, if something bad had happened on that trip that she had never made before, that would have been the death of her and my son that night. But we took the chance. And guess what? She's alive today, and so is my wonderful son running water. All because we took a chance. We weren't going to give up. We could have chose not to take the chance. We would have lost running water, but the rest of us would have survived and been fine. But sometimes you just have to take the chance. Just have to take the chance. And hope and pray that it goes your way. And in that case, it did. It did. Another chance that I made was I chanced leaving the state of Montana and coming back here to Wisconsin. I did that over 30 years ago. Running water is in excellent condition and health today. And I live with them. All the chances we took over the years, we look back on them and say, some of those chances didn't turn out so well. But then again, some of those chances made our lives and made us who we are today. I would hope that if I turned the clock back, that I would take those same chances all over again. Because if you take a chance, most of the time, in the worst case, nothing changes. But if that chance goes the way you hope it will, everything could change. And usually to the better. The only way you can move ahead is by taking a little bit of risk and once in a while just taking a chance. So don't be afraid of taking chances. Don't be afraid of taking chances. Don't take foolish risks, but be willing to take a chance once in a while. So there you go, guys. That's the show for today. Now, Mondays, Sty Times. It's kind of a hot topic. That got pulled out of the hat yesterday. How convenient with what's going on right now over in Kiev. The topic is war. We're going to talk about war and how it affects not just society, but us as individuals. And so we'll be talking about past wars and what is going on today. Should be a pretty interesting show. So I hope to see you all there. That's Monday at 5 p.m. You know, don't be late. Sty Times. And between now and then, Sunday, 7 p.m. Central Time, Sty Story Sunday. I'll have a fresh new story for you on Sunday. So Thank you for being here. I love y'all. I want you all to stay safe out there. Don't take unreasonable chances, but don't be afraid to take the occasional chance because it could turn out to be, like I said, to my very first example, could end up being the love of your life by taking a chance and saying, I'm ugly, but would you go out to dinner with me? Hey, you all have a very good evening. Bye bye.